Yes, we're a failed band that started in 2008 and hasn't made it yet. You know, we failed when I got addicted to heroin and we had to put the whole thing on pause until I got clean and sober. We failed when it took us 5 years to make our first EP, and that took so long that we just didn't even want to make music by the time it was done. We failed when COVID forced us to stop playing shows, and we failed when COVID forced us to shut down our studio and rehearsal space. We failed when I moved to LA to start a solo project that sort of just left the band behind, and yet we are still a band. Why is that? It's because we look at these failures as challenges, ways to overcome them and become stronger. When I got addicted to heroin, I wrote a bunch of songs about addiction. So now we have a couple releases that are completely about addiction, and we're reaching people who are struggling with a similar thing through my story in our music. When it took us so long to release our first EP, we actually used the knowledge we got from self-producing everything and started a business teaching other bands how to self-produce and mix their own stuff too, which now funds a lot of our music and studio time and things like that. When COVID forced us to stop playing shows, we pivoted over more to the recording side. And then when COVID forced us to shut down our studio and rehearsal space, we just got really used to being a home-produced band and didn't really rely on studios anymore at that point. When I moved to LA to start a solo project, you know, we got really good at being a remote band that only gets together maybe 3 times a year and makes that work and does a lot of our sessions through Zoom. When you look at these failures as ways to overcome and become stronger and become bigger and better, they're not failures. They're just things that make you a lot more resilient as a project, as a musician, as a person, as a team. If this resonated, this is your sign to keep going. Don't stop. We haven't, so you shouldn't either. And join us on the journey as we keep the dream alive.
Another sun in the dark.